Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. It is Marvin speaking. We're just going to get into some of the Streamliners comments, which are absolutely brilliant to the videos that I've made over the last few days. Nikki, how you doing? We know all this is everyone has said all this and moved on to different things. Yeah, I agree, but like I said, some of the stuff we go back through, I think is interesting because, like I said, even the small bits to detail, I think are important in this case. And there's no harm in going back through them. Thank you, Nikki. Nikki goes on to say, Marvin Haley's been online going on. She has nothing against Ayub, and she has been on live chats with him. Now she's on about justice for Jay. What is she playing at that she wasn't bothered about justice when she gave up on the case? Because Jay's parents wouldn't keep contact with her. She left and went on to JG case, John George case. Now she has come back onto Jay's. She will be going over things she hasn't kept to date for months while doing the John George case. I'm sorry, but I can't listen to her BS. Well, I know, Haley, I know what you're saying, but I think what it is, because she's been on the Jay's case before I was, I think it's be interesting to who she's going to talk to next, I think, because she may even just get one of them on or something. Who is Haley and why is she mentioned in a lot of things? Haley Comet is a TikToker and she was on the Jay Slater case because, like I said, she covers a lot of criminal cases. Have you seen the Jason Taylor story in the news? A man missing from Alicante Airport who has been found after 3 days. Odd. I haven't. Jason Taylor. Let me write that down. I'll probably look into that a bit later and do something on that. I'll take a look. Thank you, Claire. It's all so strange. Let me just grab a drink, people, because I've just had something spicy and it's stuck in my throat. Just 1 second. What? And so we move on. Good that this decoy be nicknamed Sleeper, saying that on of one Ayub's lives, someone kept writing just the word Sleeper, and Ayub straight away said, my name's not Sleeper. So obviously Ayub's either Sleeper or knows someone Sleeper, as all the person wrote was Sleeper. Thank you, Lindsay. I think we know who it is. I think it's PP. I'm pretty sure Benji Wild on CC said a friend told him, someone who was part of the Tenerife underworld, I believe, about a Sleeper who has a nice big villa close to the Airbnb, and that Ayub was spending time there as well as the B&B. Yet Ayub has never mentioned this, and if true, did Jay and friends go over there? Because obviously, you know, this big guy's got boats, a mansion, and a lot of everything as well. I think the scenario says it all there. Just have a read of that again, what Rachel has said. I think that's quite important, people. Very, very important. And it's not talked about enough. Janet said, does anyone know about this, people? This is quite important. I read that Juan Carlos picked up Jay from the Airbnb. Janet, do come back to me, because I wondered, send me a message, where did you get the information from? Because I never ever saw that information out there, and I wonder if Ali have seen that information as well. Who is Juan Carlos? Man who died August time, not sure what connection. Odd at Donahalo 4608. Interesting, not sure what connection. Yeah, it is odd. This is what I said, but we just need to look into that a bit more. After sleep, I don't understand that heading. What fella from the West Belfast steals a car that way, let alone that one? Defo not John G. Yeah, that was in the Madison, Johnny's partner, basically manipulating situations. I agree that was an older guy. These two are real internet gangsters, can feel sorry for the victims though. Of them. Yeah, I agree, but like I said, I think Johnny's you know, he's not a good guy, and I think Madison's being manipulated by him, and if she don't be careful, she'd end up inside as well. Pinky Pup, I to think all along he said Ishmael. It is just a coincidence that that guy's was wanted for a few years and has recently been arrested in Spain. Very odd, but they're all in, there's so many connections, is unbelievable. Pauline says Ayab always said he had a VIP. Yeah, someone up the ladder, and I think a real good friend of his. I think we all know who we're talking about. True Crime 1111 showed us that Brad had his hand in Jay's bag in NRG when Jay looks like he's been spied. So did Brad take his phone? I reckon so, Richard, and then I think it was him doing the pings. I'm not a fan of Lou Craig, but I wonder what she has to say at this point. Interesting stuff, but she has come up with a lot of information that somehow at the start did make sense, but do now. James goes on to say, where did this song come from? Potter Paper Studio is in Tenerife, perhaps, allegedly. Look, we don't know who made it, but like I said, it's a very, very odd connection. Very, very odd connection. Richard goes on to say, no, it's not a psyop, it's real flesh and blood, and it's all linked to Lost in Tenerife song. And the beach footage, the boat eventually, the body turning up, all confused with a feeler saying she saw Jay. Just bear with me. Last without her heir would be in deep with this. If it was a sacrifice ritual, some government leaders will know it as won't touch it, as rituals are made with demons and all you can experience is demonic events. Please don't call me mad. Having said that, I definitely don't advise anyone tapping into those dark forces. I've got to stop thinking about it. Lucifer now being before shit. What happens? Wow, that's crazy. I know a lot about this. I've seen a few things, but I'll experience another. I'll tell you another time. At the end of the day, I've seen some things which are very, very scary and very, very odd, and I can relate to that. But I'm sure we're going to get into that another time, people. But I won't mention that. I'll go back through these messages, Richard, a bit later, because I think we're going to have to go in a bit deep on that. Helen says, the reason in my mind is the song release, the GoFundMe, Mark Thomas documented the narrative that has been played from the very beginning. Not saying that Jay didn't come to any demise, and I'm not saying it not to be true, but thinking of that deeper level, they are going to push in the digital ID. I just can't shake it off. If any digital ID is mentioned in the documentary law, this will be my made up, I think. Yeah, I agree. That's a really, really good point. Where can you see the documentary? The documentary is not out at the moment, but I should imagine it's coming out in the summer sometime. Richard goes on to say, the missing in Tenerife, to me, is a big thing. And I think Jay was completely lured to Tenerife for maybe a sacrifice revenge attack. I don't believe in coincidence. That song has to be part of a ritual also. I think Jay was attacked Friday to Saturday, definitely not Monday. It seems that Saul knows more information. If we can get him to speak to you privately, perhaps, Marvin. Yeah, I'm going to look into that with Ali as well. Thank you very much, people. I'm going to go back to the deepness of basically sacrifices that had been mentioned, because there are some videos out there, Richards, but I would like to go sort of do it in a sort of a documentary way, but I will look into that. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Entertainment and follow the channel.